All right, welcome everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the infamous $1,400 fourth stimulus check right now in 2024, which may include the low income and of course fixed income beneficiaries of Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, no income, seniors, older adults, and of course people with disabilities. That's the focus of the video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. All right, now as you heard me say just a few seconds ago, the infamous $1,400 fourth stimulus check right now this year. Why do I say that? Because I literally get questions about this every single day down below in the comment section from those of you here in the community that watch the videos here on the channel, and every so often I do receive emails about this as well asking, where do we stand? What's going on? Can you give us an update? When are we going to get it? How much is it going to be? All kinds of details like this. So that's what I want to talk about here in this video. Now again, let's just talk about this for just a second here. Again, I mentioned all the fixed income beneficiaries at the beginning of this video, right? The beneficiaries I talk about pretty much in every single video that I publish here on the channel, right? Here's the thing. As we know right now, there's multiple different proposals that are out there in the possession of lawmakers to raise benefits substantially in a variety of ways, right? You've heard me talk about it before in other videos. However, to be fair, and again, I've said this before in other videos, lawmakers are dragging their feet on any type of raise to benefits. Okay, well, if we know that they're dragging their feet on any type of raise to benefits right now, maybe they'll offer some type of one-off payment, maybe ongoing monthly checks, something like this. So again, I totally recognize why people are wondering, hey, what's going on with this $1,400 fourth stimulus check? And again, let's be real. Again, we all know the situation about this. Fixed income beneficiaries are really struggling financially right now, and it's not just right now in 2024, it's the last couple of years here. The inflation is basically depleting the purchasing power of your benefit, and it's been a rough situation. We know this, right? It's been the same situation for the last, 3 years or so, since inflation has been very high and prices have been elevated. Checks have not kept up. We get it. So a one-off $1,400 check, or basically any check for that matter, to help out financially would be very, very vitally important for the vast majority of beneficiaries. So again, my point is, I get it. I understand why people are wondering, are we going to get something? What's the relief right now? What type of money are they going to send? Are they going to do something? Have they forgotten about us? Again, questions go on and on. So anyway, so what I want to talk about really quickly here in this video. Really quickly before we get into it, can I ask a huge favor of you? If you have not done so yet, will you please make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button right down below the video? It's totally free to do so. I'm here for you every single day. I'm doing the research, I'm watching the headlines, advocating on your behalf, and doing anything I possibly can to help you out right now. And again, there's a ton of programs out there for the low income and fixed income, even though, to be fair, yes, some of them have gone away over the last couple of years and more are expiring this year as well, as you've heard me talk about before in other videos. So again, it's a rough situation, right? But again, I want to do what I can for you, help you out in any way that I can. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so, and hit this the share button down below as well, and share this video with your friends on social media so they can also stay tuned with what's going on. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. Let's talk through the details. All right, so yeah, $1,400 for a stimulus check, again, or any dollar amount for that matter. Again, fill in the blank with anything, but this is the dollar amount. And again, $2,000 is another number that I get questions about all the time. Again, if you don't believe me, read through the comment section on any video for the last, I don't know, 6, 8, 10, 12 months, something like that, even on the live streams down below in the chat box. Inevitably, I always get questions about this. A handful of questions. Every single video, I get questions about this. So again, totally relevant here. I want to do what I can to keep you updated. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about what would actually predicate the delivery of, or the distribution of, or the approval of, or the legislation, including anything like this, including any type of one-off stimulus, things like that, okay? Now, again, I want to point out a few things that are changing as of right now as well. And again, it's kind of like a slow-moving machine, right? It's kind of a slow-moving thing, but all of a sudden, when things start to happen, it happens relatively fast, and that is the economy, okay? So let me just talk about this really quickly here, and then we'll kind of wrap this whole thing up and bring this whole thing full circle. It's all going to make sense here, even though it seems like right now, talking about economy and things like that, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to make sense, but it will, okay? Here's what it comes down to. Stimulus checks are predicated on the health of the economy. Is the economy strong? Is it weak? Is it just medium? Is it just kind of, struggling along? What's going on with it, okay? When we see a weak economy, that is when we see the distribution of stimulus checks, okay? However, as of recently, the last several months here, we've been seeing some weird things going on with employment. Now remember, you've you've heard me say this before in other videos. It's all predicated, in my honest opinion, mostly predicated on employment, okay? Employment is one of the main factors that indicates the health of the economy, okay? That's why I continue to come back to that, because I keep saying, hey, let's watch jobs. If we see jobs going down, if we see unemployment going up, if we see, these monthly numbers from the non-farm payroll numbers, if we continue to see these moving up and things like that, moving in the wrong direction, as in showing a weakening of the economy, that is good when it comes down to stimulus checks. Now, again, I never want to have anybody lose their job, stuff like that, okay? I'm not saying that, but again, there's nothing I can do about it. So this is just the reality. These are the numbers that we're seeing. Now, as of recently, we've seen the unemployment numbers moving higher. In other words, more people are becoming unemployed. It's not a ton, but we've seen it tick up a few tenths of a percentage point over the last few months here. Now, again, it's not a ton. Okay, I'm just going to say that much. It's not like we've moved up 5%. If we have, we'd be in a very, very different situation. We've seen it move up a few tenths of a percentage point. However, we continue to see, according to these non-farm payroll numbers and the employment reports that come out every month, that the jobs are still strong. In other words, a lot of jobs are being created every month. That's at least what they're telling us. Whether that's actually accurate or true or not, who knows, right? That's just what they're telling us, okay? But based on that, we know a couple factors. When job creation is high, the likelihood of the Federal Reserve lowering interest rates is very low. Why? High employment and a lot of jobs creation is actually inflationary for the economy. Why? Because that just means more money going to more people to buy goods and services, driving up prices. Okay, it's like this big cycle. Okay, remember, because of inflation and being so high over the last couple of years here, the main purpose of the Federal Reserve, with their meetings that we've been talking about lately as well, is to bring down inflation, and they do that by raising interest rates. Now remember, coming all full circle here, raising interest rates contracts the economy, because people like you and me and businesses, small, medium, and large, do not want to borrow money when interest rates are very high, right? I'm not sure about you, but if you could go out and get a loan, say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, at say 3.5%, and now today you try to go and get that same loan at say 8, 7.5, 7, 8.5, whatever happens to be percent, are you really that thrilled to go out and borrow money at that point? Not really, right? Nobody really is, right? Same thing with credit cards. Credit card interest rates are above 22% right now on average. That's nuts. That's very high, right? Try to pay down a balance with a 22% interest rate. It's not going to happen very fast, right? So that's not very good. But my point is, the higher or the longer these interest rates stay high like this from the Federal Reserve means more contraction on the economy. Think of it this way. Picture a big old snake, boa, right? Boa constrictor. What do? First thing they do is they wrap around whatever they want and they start contracting on it, right? Really nice and tight. And then, a little bit later, they have their prey, right? So I know, bad analogy, but you get my point here, right? Kind of the same thing here. The Federal Reserve is like the big boa wrapped around the economy. And the longer that they contract on this, the worse off they're going to be, right? The wrapping is going to be a really bad situation, right? So anyway, long story short is that when we see these interest rates high and when we see unemployment staying, relatively low and employment, as in jobs being created, relatively high, again, this is an inflationary thing, right? When jobs are being created. So at the end of the day, it just shows us that the Federal Reserve will likely continue to keep interest rates high. When they do that, it's contracting the economy. When the economy continues to contract, eventually we're going to see a major cracking in the system. We've already seen it happening. It's not like major cracks, but yes, we're starting to see cracks. But eventually the bottom may fall out of this thing and be like, okay, that's all we can take. We can't take it anymore, right? And the bottom falls out of the economy and whack, there goes the whole thing. And then down we go, okay? When we see something like that to happen, and again, I know it seems like, oh, this is just in theory, stuff like this. As of right now, yeah, we're just still looking at the situation, but it doesn't take all that long for this to happen, right? Think back at any major recession that we've had. They come fast. It's years in the making, which have already been in this for a couple of years. Remember, inflation peaked out June of 2022 at 9.1%. So we've been in this whole interest rate hiking and high interest rate thing for a few years now. Well, a couple years. I shouldn't say a few, a couple years now, okay? So this is not like a new thing. We've been doing this for a couple years now. It's starting to show, okay? So that's my point, is that the longer that we go on with this, kind of the bigger the decline is going to be, okay? So that's all I'm saying, is that it takes years in the making, but all of a sudden it just happens very fast. That's what I'm saying, okay? Look back like to 2020, okay? We were all fine. We were all living our lives totally fine. And then all of a sudden one day they're like, hey, we're closing everything down. Stay home and wear your pajamas and eat, eat cereal all day. Or was that just me, right? But anyway, you get my point, right? So my point is, this is what we need to continue watching very closely. Is it's all predicated on the economy, okay? So that is what we need to continue watching very closely. And when I'm watching, and again, why I want to bring this to your attention. So as of right now, no, a stimulus check has not been approved. I say this all the time in my videos, okay? I see comments down below saying, you said, no, I did not say, okay? Unless you're watching a video from like 3.5 years ago or 4 years ago when we actually got stimulus checks, which by the way, yeah, I do have a lot of old videos here on the channel because they go up and I just don't delete them. They're just there, right? So unless you're watching a video from years ago, no. In the last 3 years, I've made it very, very clear. Stimulus checks are not approved right now. They're not. But again, anything could potentially distributed, something could dedicate, them to actually approve a stimulus check again. I don't know. I'm just simply saying this is what we have to watch very closely going forward. It does not matter how much we ask. It does not matter how much we beg. It does not matter how much we tell them our sob stories and tell them, oh, we're struggling. We need more money right now. Unfortunately, they don't care. I'm just telling you the truth right now. They do not care one bit. Even though they act like they do, they stand there at their fancy little podium and say, oh, we care about the people. Okay, well, here's the thing. If they care, watch their actions, not their words, okay? You hear this all the time, right? Watch what a person does, not what they say, okay? Actions show us the truth. Words are just, blowing of smoke, okay? That's all I'm saying here, okay? So right now, again, I say it all the time, no, a stimulus check in any dollar amount, $1, $5, $10,000, $1,400 of any dollar amount is not approved. I say that all the time. It's not approved, but it's all based on and predicated on the economy. And in my honest opinion, jobs, okay? It's one of the biggest factors we need to watch very closely, even though you might think, but wait, I'm a fixed income beneficiary. I'm not working right now. I don't have a job. It's fine. Doesn't matter. We're looking at jobs as a whole in the entire country, across the entire United States. That's what we're looking at as a whole. The whole job picture and unemployment, labor participation rate, inflation, the Federal Reserve, interest rates, all of these things is what we're watching closely. Does that make sense? Okay, so again, I know this seems kind of weird, like I took this into a weird twist here, and why did I talk about all this stuff in this video? This is supposed to be about a $14 stimulus check, because this is what would predicate the delivery of or the approval of any additional stimulus checks in any dollar amount, whether it's $1,400, $1,000, $800, $2,000, $2,400, whatever. Doesn't matter the dollar amount. It's all based on this, okay? So that's what I want to bring to your attention really quickly. So for those of you that have been asking and wondering for latest updates on this and where we stand, when are we going to get it, all the things like this, this is what it comes down to. So we have to continue watching this very closely. And again, I'm watching it all. Every single day, every single week, I'm watching all this stuff. All day, every day, I'm watching the details of these things. So again, I hope this helps you. For those of you that have been asking, and again, no, stimulus checks are not approved right now. And as of right now, for the foreseeable future, we have no idea. But again, things happen quickly. Remember back to early 2020. We were all just living our lives totally normal, and all of a sudden, in a matter of a few weeks' time, we went from living our lives to closing down, and a $2.3 trillion package called the CARES Act was passed. And that also contained $1,200 stimulus checks, right? Remember that? Yeah, we do, right? It happened very, very fast from the time that they introduced the bill until the time they passed it. It was only a couple weeks. It was very, very fast. So they can do these things very quickly when they want to. Make sense? So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for now. As always, leave your comments, questions, feedback down below. If you want to come back and elaborate on this further, of course, I can certainly do that for you. Otherwise, I hope this helps. But again, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. I get it. The financial situation right now is tough for most fixed income and the low income. I understand that people need money right now. I totally understand it. Totally get it. I hear ya. I'm right there with you. Okay? Anyway, I'll keep you posted. Again, please subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Share the video with your friends on social media. The share button right down below as well. Go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including those that I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. And the videos you see popping up on your screen now, choose one of those videos as well. And thanks so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. Enjoy your day. Take care. And I'll see you in the next